Hello, fellow RPG geeks. This is part 2 of my Marth setting. Pretty much, I don't know if it's really a review, just telling you what the setting's about. So check out the first video if you didn't see that. The next section is the Marth languages. I went pretty much through and figured out which D&D languages were available in the setting, which ones weren't. I emphasized that Dwarven is very restricted to dwarves, and they don't teach it to anybody. But I pretty much went through and did that. I have some that don't exist anymore because the gods don't exist. Demons and devils don't exist. They don't exist, mostly. But I'm sure there's a few, minor devils and demons that are kind of hiding out. Probably those that are, more influenced with the cold. But you can check those out. Just pretty much kind of have an overall, which languages you can take as a player. The Marth Mythology, I spent a lot of time on Marth Mythology and the gods. I wrote some poems about them. They're not that good. But they're considered like the old gods or the dead gods. Now, I've considered putting in a new pantheon, but I think part of the novelty of the setting is that there were gods and now they're not. So that's kind of an interesting backdrop for the players, because it kind of brings in a little of the layer of despair to a campaign, where when you die, it kind of sucks. Like I said, you just wander around on the ice fields. It's just kind of lonesome ghost. But anyway, the Marth Mythology. I wrote a poem about the death of the gods, where they all kill each other. They kill themselves, in different ways. And when the gods died, I've always kind of said in my campaigns that it rained blood all over the world, and the bodies literally fell from the heavens and they have resting places all around Marth. Anyone that's found a body of one of the gods has probably hidden it away to either have experiments on it or to revere it, but mostly I'd say they kept it as a secret for themselves. There's Mar and Umar. These guys are I've always kind of pictured them as kind of like brothers that have this like eternal rivalry, and I wanted to bring in kind of like some game kind of theme to it. So Mar sits on one side of this enormous, incomprehensible, board, and Umar is on the other side. And Mar is the maker, and Umar is the breaker, and it's almost like a law and chaos kind of thing, not necessarily good and evil. In the 16 gods that they've made, there are good, neutral, and evil. And they pick sides, so Mar can even use evil for his side if he wants to. So when they all died, they picked sides, and I never really went into a lot of detail, but basically they all bit the dust. There's the good powers are Abalt. He's kind of like the king of light domains, good, healing, justice, law. He's kind of the goody two shoes god. There's Anasa. She's neutral good. Her domains are good, beauty, destruction, home, light, protection, that sort of thing. Ainur is the son of light, neutral good. He's more like a combat, destruction, strength, war, and the sun. Ablaso, he is the hunter. He's neutral good. His domains are like animal, forest, good, nourishment, plants, predator, luck, and war. Alaya, she's the sister of the sky. Her domains are air, chaos, destruction, good. And there's a bunch of them. I put a lot of additional domains in here from different books just to kind of flesh them out a little bit. Eloyer, he's the brother of the water. His domains are chaos, destruction, good, knowledge, and memory. He's basically like the sea god. The neutral powers are Fornast. He's the builder. He's kind of like homage to like the dwarven gods. Art, craft, fire, forge. Muerkef, he's the keeper of death. I actually had a campaign where they brought back Muerkef. That was a good thing because Muerkef, it doesn't keep the laws of death in check. That's why the undead exist. So that's really my, kind of like in Night of the Living Dead, or Hell's Full. So that's why everybody's coming back to life. Muerkef basically isn't there to make sure that the dead stay dead. So when the god of death died, that was a bad thing. Meralta, she's the white moon. It's like animal, light, magic, luck, protection. Morgwala, she's the green moon. She's, foresty, kind of like a hippie chick. Drogos, he's the master of thieves. He's kind of a fun god to have. I had a thief campaign once, and he was worshipped heavily. But he's chaos, death, luck, music, poison, travel, trickery. Philosophy Maya, she's the mother of forests. She's kind of like the Gaia type. Srikner, he's the son of strength, chaos, destruction, combat, fire, luck, travel, war. His symbol's a dire bear, which is kind of fun. Then the evil powers. You have Baner, which is the son of shadows. His domains are combat, evil. And there's kind of like some overlapping here with some of the gods, and I kind of did that intentionally so they have more to fight about. Mergalta, she's kind of like the evil moon. She's the blood moon. Her domains are evil, dreams, knowledge, magic, spiders, travel, trickery. Zerbalta, she's the queen of darkness. She's chaotic evil. She's beauty, chaos, death, destruction. She's pretty much like the hot chick that's just evil to the core. And I have all the gods kind of separated. It was kind of like a family tree. Abalt and Zerbalta, they pretty much are the father and mother of all the gods. And there's some inbreeding going on there too, so it's kind of twisted in that way. But like I said, all the gods are either not talking or they're all dead. So that's the mythology part of it. I'll run out of time again. I use some runes, which are basically heavily influenced by J.R. Tolkien as the main writing system. And I have a song lyrics page here. I pretty much went through and just wrote some really bad poetry, trying to focus on some of the aspects of the setting. And you feel free to deride them as crap. But I don't know. I try to add a little bit more artistic flair. Time in the setting, each day lasts 16 hours, and the day and the night last 8 hours each. So that's kind of a little tweak on that as well. I have a vocabulary page, which I heavily borrowed from Native American languages and the names of like Wisconsin towns to kind of make my own, basically just list of vocabulary words. What I love about, and I've done this better in other settings since this, but I started with a language and I came up with a list of words, which is very awesome for when you're trying to make a character name, because you can go through here and say, okay, I want my character to be like, I don't know, the blind adult. So his name would be Aegon, where was it? Aegon Inarch would be his name. And that would actually mean something, which I kind of think is missing from fantasy games. I like my character names to mean something. That's why I wanted to come up with a list of vocabulary words. And if you're making your own setting, I suggest before you do anything, you pick some dead ancient language that has lots of words and just use that. Because this actually took me a lot of work to come up with all these words. So if you actually come up, well, for instance, in my Burning Heaven setting, I use Sumerian as the basis, and that's actually proved very, very, very cool. So that's pretty much the main things of the setting. Those are kind of like the general pages. I went through and did some D&D pages where you have different suggestions, and I guess I should cover the races too. That's probably a good thing to do. I pretty much took like standard fantasy races, dwarves, elves, and I kind of tweaked them and gave some of them sub-races. So like dwarves have a dark sub-race, a fire sub-race, gray, and ice, and they all have various things to them. Like dwarves, their hands catch on fire. Gray are more of like a dark elf. They can hide in things, and dark elves have like really strong dark vision, and ice dwarves have good saves versus cold. There's 3 subraces of elf. There's blood elves, shadow elves, and twilight elves. Twilight elves don't have eyes, and they see through their familiars. Shadow elves are immune to poison. Blood elves only drink. They're kind of like vampire elves, except they can only get sustenance from blood. Let's see how much time I got left. All right, there's gnomes. There's 3 subraces of gnomes. They revolve around the idea of luck. What else we got here? I have 4 races of human. If I would ever revise this setting, I'd just take all the humans out. I'm tired of humans in fantasy settings, but there's black, brown, gray, and white are the subraces for humans. There's wolfen, which are kind of like werewolf men, and there's yeti. I'm a big fan of the yeti, and I provide a yeti savage species class for D&D. And that's basically the gist of the setting. It's basically like a dying world. The gods were there, now they're not, and you have to struggle to survive in this horrible environment. So check out the link and look at some of the pages. All right, thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you later.